research work of more than 30 PG students. And Dr. Kukal has done extensive research work in the field of soil and water conservation, having 400 plus research publications in the journals of national and international repute. He has authored 2 books in the field of soil science and environmental science and edited several books in the field of soil and water conservation. He is Associate Editor of International Soil and Water Conservation Research, and Dr. Kukal has several awards and honors to his credit, the most prestigious being the Fellow of National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Fellow Indian Society of Soil Science, Dr. G.S. Kush Distinguished Professor Award, and several of such highly esteemed awards. So with this, sir, I once again thank you for accepting our invitation, and it's our pleasure and honor to host you in this very important webinar. I request you to kindly deliver the lectures.
Thank you, Haritha, for hosting me and at the same time introducing me to the audience. Well, in fact, when I was asked to deliver this presentation, I was a bit hesitant. I was not aware whether I would be able to justify the title or not. But still, I thought that this will be a good opportunity to at least share my own experiences, because I have also traveled from a young scientist to a senior and now a retired person. So based on my personal experiences, I have prepared this presentation to be shared with you people. And you can see in the title that writing a winnable. I have put the winnable in brackets and then deleted it. Because let me tell you that 75 to 90% of the proposals, they are rejected. So we should, when you write a research grant proposal, you should write it for rejection. Let me tell you. And then why you should write it for rejection, we will be discussing in the coming slides. Okay. Yeah. Now, first of all, what is a research grant? Why to strive for it? Why a young scientist should go for a research grant? Basically, research grant is issue-based limited period funding, which is provided to you by the external agencies. Those could be public or private. And this grant is at the disposal of the scientist for its use. Because generally, you know, when a scientist, new scientist joins an agriculture university or ICR system or any other, you know, organization, so he has to do with whatever funding he is being provided by his or her organization. And nowadays, you know, the organizations, they don't have the fundings, and they ask their young scientists to write the proposals and get the fundings and do the research. So I should say, many people say, oh, leave it. I'm getting the salary and whatever I'm doing, I'm teaching, I'm doing a little bit of research, that's fine. But if you have a research grant at your disposal, you will be a person who is quite, you know, different from the rest, I should say, different from the masses, from the scientists, other scientists, because you will have something in your hand. So you will be strengthened both financially as well as, you know, in terms of equipment, in terms of manpower. So if I should say that why you should strive, well, first of all, this is your recognition. You know, in global universities or at international level, a scientist is recognized by the number of grants he has, or the number of grants he has already executed. So this gives him a recognition. And even in our Indian system also, whenever you apply for a higher position, definitely there is a column that what is the amount of research grant which you have got for the university. So this is, of course, a recognition. So you should strive for it. I always say that science teaching, particularly teaching in professional universities, it's not mere a job like any other job. It's a job where you are getting salary, you're doing a job, but at the same time, you are making your biodata to such an extent that you get recognition. And in no other field, not even in administration, the recognition is there. When I say administration, I mean IAS, IFS. They do their job, but they are not recognized. So here a scientist gets recognition at the national level, at the international level, And the first step to get that is that he should have grants with him. And this grant, as I said, it's a financial assistance to the scientist for manpower. If he has a grant, he can hire a research associate, he can hire the field coordinators or field labor. He will not have any dearth. Otherwise, if you don't have the grant and you plan an experiment, your head of department, he will say, no, we don't have the fundings. Or, okay, you lay down the experiment, we will see. And when you require labor, he say, we don't have labor for you. So, but on the other hand, if you have financial grant with you, you will be able to get the labor, you will have regular field coordinators with you. Equipment. In many grants, they provide you some funds for getting some equipment, additional equipments you require. Similarly, travel. You have a component of the grant as travel. So you can attend the conferences within and outside the country. And if you have an international grant, definitely you will have some travel expenses for international exposure as well. And then financial assistance. If you get a grant, your university also gets some funds for administration and all that. And then if you have a grant, you have freedom for exclusive research. You can do something which your university or your department cannot afford to do. And in many foreign universities, because you are spending some time on the particular research grant, say you're spending 20% of your time on a particular project. So they say that, okay, your salary component, 20% of the salary component should come from that particular grant. But in our Indian system, it's not like that. So it's not an easy job, I should say, to write a proposal, but then it's not a so difficult job that you should not think about it. But whenever you have to initiate a proposal, it comes to your mind, or somebody says, your boss says, just write a proposal for a grant, research grant. You have to be mentally prepared first. It's not like that, okay, dear, come, we will have a cup of tea and discuss the research grant. No, it's not like that. So my advice over here is never write a proposal just for the sake of submission, to just to show, impress your boss, just to impress your head of department or director of research. See, I have submitted 3 research projects, and those may not be winnable. And sometimes we submit the proposals just for assessment score, personal promotion. You have APR card, and then you say, oh, because I know that in PAU, the previous vice chancellor, he had kept some marks that how many proposals you had submitted during the previous term. So people said, I have submitted 3, submitted 4, because that was good idea of the vice chancellor, that he believed that at least the person or the scientist, he will start writing something. But then again, people misuse that, score, because just for getting the marks, they submitted, very, 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 very poor, I should say, applications for submission. And of course, that could bring a bad name to not only to you, PIs, even to your organization. Because the reviewers or the organization where you sent that particular grant, they might say that, see how poor the particular university or organization is. Such projects we are getting from them. So that gives a bad impression not only to you as a person, but to your organization, to your state, even to your country also, if you're submitting a proposal in outside your country. So, and it's not properly, written and all that, then that gives a bad name to the country as well. So be mentally prepared that, yes, I have to do the proposal first, because you have to be prepared to do the proposal. I should say it is many times it is easy to get the research grant, but difficult to execute the project. This is also true, particularly in Indian situation. You get the research grant, but then you are not able to achieve your objectives. That again gives a bad name. So initiate a proposal writing only if you are mentally prepared for that, mentally prepared to sacrifice your time. And even your personal time you will have to. When I say personal time, means outside the framework of 9 to 5. If you have a project, you will have to work for maybe up to 7 or up to 8 in the evening. or even on Saturdays and Sundays. And if you are ready to do that, only then start doing this exercise. Then some pre-proposal preparation. Okay, you have now decided, you are mentally prepared, I will go for a proposal. So what should be the then pre-proposal preparation? First of all, sometimes for a particular research grant, you get the calls, say DST, they have some special programs. So they say, okay, we are accepting the proposals between this window period. And those are on a particular theme. So you have to read and reread the call for proposals and see if you are eligible, see the keywords, see areas of the interest. It's not like that I'm working on soil physics and a proposal comes on soil fertility and I say, okay, I'm a soil science man, I can do it. Whereas I know that I don't have the real capability to carry out the work in the field of soil fertility or soil chemistry because I'm a man of soil physics. So here just to be involved in a project, maybe at your own level as PI or as co-PI, until and unless your area of interest matches with the theme of the call. And then you have to see the budgetary restrictions also. If you have something in your mind that I want to do this, and you need a particular say amount of budget, say 50 lakh, and here the call is that they will provide not more than 20 lakh. So you have to decide, should you go for that or not? Again I say, चलो कोई बात नहीं है, 50 नहीं, 20 पे गुजारा कर लेंगे. No, it should not be like that, because you have some idea in your mind. You know, I know this much, I require this much of money for it. And if the call for the proposal says that money doesn't match with what you require, don't go for that. And then also, if everything is fine, then see the guidelines, preparatory guidelines. And even if there is no call and you want to submit a proposal, you have something, some idea in your mind, then you should have very clear cut idea about that proposed research. You should have quite clarity about the research. And this, of course, should pertain your area of expertise. And at the same time, it should relate to the pre-identified researchable issues of your organization. Sometimes it helps that you prepare the proposal, submit it to your director of research, then the committee over there says, no, this is not our mandate. This is not our priority, because it doesn't match with the pre-identified researchable issues of your university or your organization, and you have not discussed the things with your director of research before preparing your proposal, so that exercise may go waste. So, and at the same time, whatever ideas you have, you should have in line with that of the funding agency, because different funding, for example, Department of Science and Technology, they have a section, natural resource data management system, they call it as NRDMS. So you submit a proposal which has nothing to do with NRDMS, it will be thrown in the bin. So you have to see that if you're going to submit to a particular section of the department funding application, it should match with the theme, aim of that particular funding agency. So another some more points regarding proposal. Read previously funded proposals. This is also very important. That okay, your department, your department organization, many your predecessors, seniors, they might have submitted the proposals and even won that. So better read those, how the proposals are written. Then contact your Directorate of Research Program officer, because in it's ultimately the Director of Research who has to decide that whether your proposal should go to the funding agency or not. He is the final authority, approving authority. So better you contact him first, and it should be around 2 to 6 months before the proposal deadline. So develop one-page note on the potential proposal. Just give your ideas, okay, this, and then discuss this note with your peers. And here the peers could be your head of department, your senior colleagues in the department. This is very important that nowadays what I have seen, that the present young generation, they don't discuss their proposals, they don't discuss their ideas with senior persons. I don't know why, if they are shy of discussing the things, or even it may be true that seniors might not be giving the good ear to them. But this is very important. You should even you should discuss the ideas with your opponents also, because if somebody opposes your ideas, you at least get some confidence. Okay, I may be weak over here, or he is opposing just for the sake of opposing. So there is no harm in, and don't be shy or don't be afraid, scared that your ideas may not be stolen by anybody else. Nobody can do that. So this is very important to discuss your note with your concerned peers. And if somebody, because there are very good people who always encourage you, who listen to you. And if a senior person listens to your idea, he approves it, you will get a confidence. Okay, I can do that. Then discuss the strategies from successful proposal writers and mentors. In your department, you have senior people who have done the proposals, who have won the proposals. So you discuss the strategy. Okay, this is the proposal. I want to involve this person in it. So this is how I will be doing the things. Field is with me. So then you can frame a strategy. You can get some ideas from the proposal writers and mentors. Then from time to time, schedule regular. This is very important, that when you have to write a proposal, you will have to find the time. It's not that okay, आज लिखेंगे कल देख लेते हैं यार, आज time नहीं है. No, if you have decided, then fix a time. Make a timeline, stick with this timeline, and limit any distractions coming in that timeline. If you have fixed 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on this particular date, okay, go alone, be alone, start writing. Don't be distracted by anything, not even by your phone also. So find what works for you. Then most important is, yes, you are clear about the ideas. You have prepared one page note. Then gather your team. Now, what is your team? First is researchers and architects. Researchers are you being the PI. Then you may have some people, you might need some people to assist you. Those could be PIs. Senior persons, postdocs, they could be your, architects. Postdoc can help you in preparing the figures and all that, or jogging down the things. But senior persons are very important. They are the most important architects. So repeatedly, I am saying, whenever you have an idea, whenever you think of writing a proposal, please discuss with a senior person in your department, in your organization, maybe outside the organization also. This is very important. Don't shy in doing so. And then another part of your team could be the external partners, maybe NGOs, maybe some other organizations. If you are a particular SAU, you may have to collaborate with another SAU or another ICR institute, or even NGOs, because nowadays the funding agencies, they want that NGOs need to be included in the project, so that whatever findings you get, those could be disseminated at the ground level. Then your team could have some consultants also, the core leaders. As I said, these are again the senior persons. But here, in some foreign universities, they have particular consultants who guide you how to write a proposal. But unfortunately, in our Indian system, we don't have such type of consultants in SAUs or in ICR institutes or other even scientific institutions. Then approvers, they are also part of your, who have to approve. That could be your immediate boss, head of the department, Directorate of Research, or Directorate of Extension Education, or Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, or Dean of any other faculty. They are approvers. So better discuss the things with them also. That, sir, this is my idea. This is I'm going to do, and this is in line with the ideas of the university, or points of the university. And then mentors. Mentors could be the successful PIs in your own organization, outside the organization. Graduate advisors also, that because graduate advisors are always senior people. So they can also, even if they have not done any proposal, because they do have the experience, so they can guide you. They can say, okay, yes, this is good. You should go ahead and do like this. And even your colleagues also, maybe younger colleagues also. Then your research team is there. You have gathered it. You have talked to them. So it should be heterogeneous in expertise. If you are a man of soil physics and your research involves different aspects of soil science and even agronomy, better involve an agronomist, better involved in soil microbiologist. So it should be heterogeneous, in expertise, depending upon the work you are going to do. And better if your team is inter-institutional, because nowadays funding agencies in India and in other outside India also, they prefer that there should be inter-institutional, inter-regional, international collaborations also, because many the calls for the grants maybe from government of India or other governments of other countries, they promote this type of collaboration within the countries. So it should always be so better to start that your whatever proposal you write, you should have some inter-institutional people at the first hand, even if you are writing your own ideas without a call. And dedicated NGOs, as if it's required, you should have dedicated NGOs. And timeline, at least you should have 2 to 3 months for proposal developments with weekly meetings with your team. It's not okay, I will write and send it to you and you see, and you are PI, you have to do the maximum work. Yes, agreed. But let the others also do work. It's not like that, okay, you have 3 co-PIs, you prepared the draft, sent to the co-PIs. Co-PIs take little interest because they know, okay, he is the PI, he will manage the things. No, you should have weekly meetings with them. If any co-PI doesn't, attend the meeting, so it's better to replace him or her. Then again, some prerequisites for writing a proposal. You should have, as I said, offline or online meeting with the probable PIs, co-PIs. So have thorough discussion with the teammates. This is very important because before writing, the more you work hard before writing a proposal, the more chances of the success rate and all that. So have thorough discussion with your team for research idea. Then who will do what? You have to pre-decide it. It's not that ultimately, generally it's seen, particularly in our Indian conditions, that the whole burden falls on the PI. He is the man responsible for everything. So it will be better if you decide that who will do what equipment and manpower the different co-PIs have, what additional manpower or equipment they require. So it should be decided, it should be pre-decided rather. Similarly, budget estimate for each PI. It's not tomorrow when the project funding is there, one PI says, no, you have more budget than me, I cannot do this. So it's always better to decide the budget estimates beforehand, and then planning for outline and timeline of preparation of the proposal, that okay, we will this particular man will do this component, this person will do this component, ultimately we will come out with the proposal. Then the components of research proposal, generally it matches with your synopsis and PAD thesis you have already done, title, introducing the subject, then highlighting the research gaps, highlighting the hypothesis of the proposed study. Research gap highlighting and hypothesis highlighting, this is very, very important. Hypothesis is this, that, okay, this is the research gap. If we do like this, it will happen like this. This is the hypothesis. It could be true, it could be false at the end of the study. Your hypothesis could be true, it could be false also, but in both cases, it's a good research. Never say that, okay, I had said that if I do like this, it will happen like this, but it didn't happen. Then what? This is also research. Maybe people say that negative results. Yes, your negative results are as interesting as positive results and worth publishing in the journals. We have done it. So highlighting the hypothesis is very important. Then brief review of literature, at the national level, international level, because until and unless you review the literature, you won't be able to highlight the research gaps. Okay, the work has been done up to this point, and now this is what I'm going to do. So you have to list your objectives, activities, then methodology and approach. So objective-wise activity is very important. Objective 1, to achieve this objective, How many activities you are going to carry? 1, 2, 3. When I say activities means it could be experiments. Experiment 1, 2, 3. 3 experiments for objective 1. 2 experiments for objective 2. This is very important. And then based on that, what methodology or approach you will follow, what observations you will record, what type of experiment you will do. Will it be a lab study, field study? You have to clarify the things. Generally, what happens in our proposals, I have seen under Indian conditions, they hide this thing. They don't elaborate the methodology or approach, and objectives are not clearly written. Objectives do not reflect the idea of the your title also. And then you have to give the timeline with deliverables. Okay, for the first 6 months, this is what I will be achieving. This is during after at the end of 6 months, these will be my deliverables. And then this is again very important because funding agency is going to give you money, and they don't have money like this to just to throw and distribute the money. Okay, go and enjoy. No, they want output from you. They expect that, okay, what will be your achievement after 6 months, then next 6 months, then next 6 months. So you have to submit the report, and if you don't do that, maybe the project could be cancelled and all that. So this is, and if you don't highlight such deliverables, timelines, and activities, then these are the reasons that your proposals are rejected. Then personal biodata included a list of related publications. This is very important because many reviewers, they see that, okay, he is the person who is asking for funding on this particular issue. So has he some work on this aspect done already? Or his biodata, does that biodata reflect his expertise in this particular field? This is very important things are there. So you have to, design your biodata, I should. So I'm using the word design because sometimes, say, you may have, say, 50 publications or 20 publications. Out of 20 publications, only 10 publications, they match the proposal which you are going, I mean, they are related with the proposals. So better highlight only those 10 instead of all the 20. So that's why I said design your biodata as per, the idea of the research proposal. References, yes, if you're citing some references in the proposal, so better give detailed bibliography, list of bibliography, and budgetary details. This is also very important. Many funding agencies, particularly in India and abroad, they expect that you should distribute the fund requirements under different heads, salary component, and then equipment, and then miscellaneous and travel and all that. So that should be clearly done. Now, very important is that you have to consider the funding agency's perspective. It's not that you said, okay, this is the idea, this is my idea, I want to do research on that. You have to understand that what is the funding agency's mission and review criteria, how they review the proposal, why they are asking this project. Or if they have not asked, I'm going to submit the project to this particular agency. What is their mission? Does it match with my idea? So this is very important. Then they have some funded projects. They have listed that we have funded these projects. So better you read the abstracts of those also. And your proposal must align with the funding agency's goals and mission. And not only align, but your proposal which you have submitted or which you want to submit, it should enhance the funding agency's goal or mission. Only then funding agency, because funding agency has their own goals and mission. They want to enhance them. They want that we have to work on that particular aspect. So your job to demonstrate this alignment to the funding agency. It's not that you say, okay, funding agency will see whether this matches with them. No, you have to say that, you have to show in writing that yes, whatever I am saying, it matches, it is in alignment with what you require, what the funding agency requires. So it's not a manuscript. You submit the manuscript and see, the reviewers will see that whether to publish it or not. No. So this is very important. Then project reviewer's perspective, very important again, because ultimately your project proposal is going to be reviewed by very, very senior people. And say if there are 4 people and they may have varying backgrounds. If you're a soil scientist, they might not be the soil scientist. Some may be agronomists. Even there could be plant breeders also. But of course, they are very senior people. They know the ideas. So here now the trick is, I should say it's a trick, that your proposal needs to be understood by an educated individual who is not expert in your field. This is very important. The person is not a soil scientist. Your proposal relates to soil science. You have to present the things in such a way that should be able to grasp the thing. This is beauty. Here lies, I should say, the central idea of writing a proposal. And also need to provide details that experts in your field will expect to see. It's not that, no, okay, you're a soil scientist and you're writing for an agronomist or some other plant breeder, and it sorry, and your proposal should also have the content which a soil scientist should expect from your proposal also. So this is now very catchy situation, that you have to convince a non-scientist soil scientist as well as soil scientist. So mix the things, make it so simple. I hope you got what I mean to say over here. And this is, I should say, the most challenging part of the proposal development. You have to sell the things to a person who is not expert in your field, plus to a person who is expert in your field. And it requires skills. It learns to be, needs to be learned from your seniors. Very important. And that's why I say that whenever anybody is presenting a proposal, just go and sit over there, because I know that proposals are presented in the departments itself first, and people don't take interest. They don't go over there. And again, I should say, the people don't discuss with their, peers, with their seniors. And the most challenging part, again, I'm saying, you have to convince a person who is not in your field. You have to convince a person who is of your field. And the first former, I should say, is the more important than the later. Now, title of your proposal. Title should be simple, attractive. It should accurately reflect the central idea of the proposal. If I read your title, it should come to my mind, okay, what the person wants to do. What is the central idea of the research, proposed research he or she wants to carry out? And remember, never start your title with the words investigation of this, effect of this, study of this, novel technique of this. No, it because these are the phrases or words which are not liked by the seniors, particularly at the international level. So here you can see in the last line, if I write some observations on behavior of gullies in sub-mountain Punjab, now I have deleted it. This title could be more effectively written as behavior of gullies. Why some observations on? Delete it. Behavior of gullies in Shivaliks of lower Himalayas. Instead of sub-mountain Punjab, I use the word Shivaliks of lower Himalayas, because sub-mountain Punjab is located in Shivaliks of lower Himalayas. So this gives a better, that funding agency say, okay, this is for lower Himalayas. It will be applicable not only in Punjab, but Haryana, in J&K, in Himachal Pradesh. So this is again a trick. You have to do the same work, but do it on a broader, it should look that you are doing it at a large scale. Your title should not be too long, because many times people have 3 to 4 lines of the title, and a person loses interest when he starts reading your title. And in a title, there should not be long chemical nomenclature or unfamiliar or abbreviations. As I said, the reviewers could be the persons outside your field also. They may not be familiar with the abbreviations of your, subject. Then reviewer friendly. Your proposal should be reviewer. How a proposal could be reviewer friendly? When I say reviewer friendly, that whenever a reviewer he starts reading your proposal document, and he should immediately get interested. For example, I have a document over here, and I start reading first casually, and if the first line or first paragraph looks interesting to me, I will read whole page. If first page is interesting, I will go to second page. If the first line is not interesting, I will throw it. Oh, this is just an ordinary proposal. So first page is very critical, and it should be well organized also. Not only that, it should be good readable, there should be very good lines written in it, but its organization should also be good. It should not be a big paragraph without any breaks and all that. So it's not a widely known fact. Here I will say, I hope that I'll give the example of agronomists I have seen at PAU. So if there is any agronomist sitting over here, please don't mind. But what the agronomists, whether it's a synopsis of PhD research proposal or master research proposal, or even the research proposals, what they do is they start say if the proposal is on rice crop, they will start writing. Rice is grown in the area at the world level, then at India level, this productivity is this and this. And everybody knows these figures are known to everybody. These figures are not interest to anybody. But then again, they write that whole story in the first paragraph, and that is such a boring thing to read. So whatever you write, it should not be a widely known fact. And remember that when you write some lines, you start your first page, writing first page, you should have this in mind that the reviewers, they are very, very senior people. They are very, very intelligent people. That's why they are the reviewers. That's why they are in the selection committees. So they are to read that, and if they know that, okay, what he has written, everybody knows this, so they will lose interest in your proposal. Now it is up to you to keep them, attracted to your first page. So the purpose is to get the reviewer interested in the problem and keep reading. You have to make him, okay, keep on reading. Like when we talk to somebody, and if our talk or if our wording is not good, he will try to avoid it. But then you say, sir, please listen to me. Sir, please listen to me. No, you have to speak like this, that he remains listening to you. He loves listening to you. Same is over here, that if your writing is good, he should continue reading. So then present your central idea. It's very important. Then after that, you give the knowledge gaps, that what is knowledge gaps you are looking to address, and significance. You have to show that this is not, if the knowledge gap is not being done, this will happen. If this is not done, this will happen. That is significance. जैसे वो हिंदी में कहते हैं, उसको डरा देना है कि अगर ऐसा नहीं हो तो ऐसा हो जाएगा, मारे जाएंगे. So then he says, okay, 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 yes. So you have to show the significance of your proposed research. So how you and your team position to fill this gap? This is again very important, that your expertise, your organization, how you will be able to fill this gap and advance the agency's mission. You have to clearly prove this. Not only prove, because you have to make it sure that yes, we have the expertise, we are the institute, we are the experts in this particular field, because we have some preliminary data with us that shows. Now here, let me tell you, okay, I'll come in the next slide. So clearly present what, why, how you plan to do. What you plan to do, why you plan to do, how you plan to do. So remember these three things, very important. What you plan to do, why, and how. All these three questions need to be answered. This is very important. So reviewer friendly, again, set the problem. What do you know? No. What do you know means what already has been done in the literature. And what do we not know? You have to highlight. Up to this point, yes, we know, but then we don't know this thing. So what should be done about it? So this will be a gap. And then you present a solution. that, okay, if we do like this, it will happen like this. So present overall objective, general approach to tackle the problem, and why you should be the one to do that. Again, very important. Why you should be one? Because you have to show that based on my previous studies, that will strengthen. If you have previously done some work on that particular aspect, which you are now going to ask for funding, your chances of winning, they get brighter. So what steps you have taken, what previous work, and what preliminary data you have. Here, I'll give you an example of preliminary data. When I was a young man, like you people, I went to DST with an idea, because when I did my master's research on gully erosion, I came across that some structures in the gullies, they were broken down. And I thought that, yes, something came to my mind that why these are broken down. So I thought that when I will join the job, I will submit this proposal. And I did that. When I joined as assistant professor, I submitted the proposal to Department of Science and Technology. They listened to me. I spoke very clearly. My ideas were clear. But then again, they said, okay, you do a 6-month study just to gather the information that what is the proportion of structures damaged and why. I was very furious. So because I was a young man, I was expecting that I'll get this project. So during lunchtime, I was a bit, angry, and I was talking to my friends. I say, see, they are not encouraging the young people. They have rejected my project. And one senior person, perhaps he could be one of the reviewers committee member. He was sitting over there. He was having a lunch. He called me to himself. He said, Siddharji, you do it first. Jitna aapko kaha, aap wo karo. You will get the project. So that made me a bit cooler. And before that, I had decided that after going back to my university, I will write a strong letter to them, because this is immediate reaction. So now I understand that they wanted some preliminary data. I said that, yes, the structures get broken over there. But I should have said that this much percentage of structures, they get broken down in the Shivaliks of Punjab. So they were right. At that time, they were right. When I thought that this is ridiculous, what they are asking me, I will collect the data when I'll get the full project. But believe me, then I remained silent. Thanks to that, my senior person who was there in the committee, I got a letter after a month that I have been given 1.5 lakhs. That was too much, a good amount. In that, I bought a computer, and the PC at that time, computer at that time was a very, very rare entity. Every scientist didn't have people who were working in the computer rooms, and I had my own computer, and I was very proud, of that. But the only thing I'm trying to convince over here is the preliminary data which they asked for me. And when next time I went with the data, after 6 months carrying this study, I got the data. I again went back with the proposal. I presented the proposal. There was no question. The only question they asked, please come out with a slide on budget, how much money you want. So you see, such is the thing. So what I mean to say, that why you should be the one to do it, preliminary data. Do you have something preliminary data with you? Either of your own primary data, secondary data, something like that. So this is how the things go. Then reviewer friendly again. Your aim, goals, and specific objectives should be clear. Now here, I will try to explain that what is difference between aim, goal, and objective. Goal is, it reflects the significance. Why do this project? For example, I say reducing fertilizer use through integrated nutrient management. So my project is integrated nutrient management. And why? To reduce the fertilizer use. This is goal. Now, what should be the aim? Aim reflects the direction and intent. So now, if this is the goal, reducing fertilizer use through INM, aim is integrated use of manures, biofertilizers, chemical fertilizers in agriculture. This is the difference you can see. And objectives describe what is expected to happen in the project. that if you will do like this, but for example, interactive effect of paddy residue incorporation and biofertilizers on fertilizer use and crop productivity. So this is expected to happen. So this is how you have your goals, aims, and objectives. And then impact is very important. Your proposal should also show that if this proposal is done, this study, the results of this study, they will have this impact on the ground. This will be the significance of the problem. So this is impact you have to show. So aims, goals, objectives, and impact you have to show in your proposal. Then organization and format. So use guidelines and template. Yes, every funding agency, they have their own template. So see the outline, headings, subheadings. Even if there is no template, your own proposal should be well, it's always better to have some headings, subheadings, instead of writing the full paragraphs, full pages. That doesn't give a good, seen to the eyes and to read and see. There could be some required tables and figures also, and other documents you have to be meaningful, like well organized, perfectly formatted. Other documents could be the letters from the other institutes, letters from scope PIs, their bar data and all that. Now, if your COPI has sent bar data in one format, another COPI has in another format, your own bar data is another format. So you simply copy and paste the three. So there will be three different formats. And remember that seniors there, they get very, very much irritated looking at three different formats. So they just get an idea that a person who could not make a uniform, format of the biodata or other documents, how can we believe that person that he will do good job? So this is a very small thing, but very tricky also. So yes, then agency specific formatting. Yes, as I said, all the documents should be formatted. Then use of pages and space, create pleasing reading space. Yes, white space, font size should be good. Sometimes people say the funding agency says should not be more than 4 pages. So you reduce the font size. That doesn't mean that 8 pages reduced to 4 pages by reducing the font size. So role of figures, very important. When you have a manuscript, so here the reader who reads your manuscript, he makes the conclusion. But in a proposal, if you have the figures, you have to present the conclusion. Your figure should clearly speak that if you do like this, it will. That looking at the figure, the conclusion should already be there. Instead, that reviewer makes a conclusion. Then presenting a proposal. Many times, I should say, under Indian conditions, you're asked to maybe by offline or online mode, you're asked to present the proposal. And presentation is very, very important opportunity. First of all, I should say sometimes you have very good ideas, but you're not able to present the things. And sometimes you have some very bad ideas or not so good ideas. I should not say bad idea, not so good ideas, but your presentation skills are such that this is just like a 5-star hotel. They provide the same thing which are provided by a Daba man, but they have very good plates. Instead of round, they will have triangular plate, and then the thing is placed over there. Then place a green leaf and red something, and this is so beautiful. And ultimately, it is the same thing, maybe worse than what the Daba man provides. But this is how the things are being presented. Presentation is very important. And if you are asked to present your proposal, you have an added opportunity to showcase the things which could not be showcased in the written proposal. So many things are better said than written. Sometimes you cannot explain all the things in writing. And when you explain in person before the committee, that gives a good idea. Your extraordinary way of explaining the things may surely add your chances of it. But on the extraordinary way of explaining, this is very important. If you are not a good speaker, better ask your co-PI to present if he is better than you. So it can compensate the weak points left in the grant application. Even after so much of preparation and all that, some weak points may be there. But if you get a chance to present, you can compensate for those weak points over there. And many times reviewers who are not in the habit of reading the proposal say they better like first-hand information. Okay, who will read it? So we will listen to the person because he or she is coming to present. We will listen over there. So if you are not a good presenter, that may not have a good impact. Now coming to the most important component, rejection of the proposal. And here we get discouraged, which is totally wrong. The rejection is a normal part of grant scheme seeking proposal. As I said, 75 to 90% of the proposals, they get rejected. Very few applications are funded for the first time on the first submission. So if your proposal is rejected, don't lose heart. And I have seen that many people say, no, I made so much attempt and all that, and it was rejected. They are biased, this, that. No, I know that it's good on your part to think like that, but it's not so good also because, people say that you learn from your experiences. So if rejection is there, that means that is a step for you to learn the things, to improve yourself. And you can improve only if you are rejected. Otherwise, you cannot improve yourself. So rejection leads to positive results. Resubmission, if you resubmit after clearly thinking over it, then your success rates could be higher if you're resubmitting a project. And it provides an opportunity to understand the reverse perspective. Because generally, I should say over here, not under the Indian conditions, because they don't give you an explanation or the reasons that why your proposal was rejected. But if we see at the international level, they give you all the comments that okay, this is why your project was rejected. So if you get the comments of the reviewers, so you can you can understand that what the reviewers wanted and where I failed to provide him the required information. So better you give yourself time to process the rejection and resist the urge to react or defend. This is very important. As I
yes.
gave my own example of the DST. Please mute your
ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾ
please mute yourself. I'm getting
ಹಾ ಹಾ
distracted.
ಹಾ ಒಂಟಿಕೊಪ್ಪಲ್ಲ ಹಾ
Please mute yourself.
ಓಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಂಟೆಗೆ
Krishna ji, can you please mute the speaker? I mean, the person who is
ಊಟ
speaking.
ನೋಡ್ಬಾರೆ
HS Prakash ji.
ಓ ಹಾ ಹಾ
I think he's not listening to
ಓ
us.
ಓ
Prakash ji,
sir,
please
please
mute
mute
yourself.
ಓ ಸರಿ
he
Okay.
he doesn't seem to be tech savvy like me.
ಹಾ
Anyhow,
ಸರಿ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಇದಾರಾ
ए, प्रकाश सर प्रकाश सर
ಓ ಹ್ಞೂ
सर जो एडमिन है वो उनको म्यूट कर सकता है
सर वो ना होस्ट मैं नहीं हूँ उधर से है नास से
anyhow, even if he remains silent, no problem. So give yourself time to process the rejection. Don't react. This is again, here comes my example. I wanted to react, but the person stopped me. And rather develop a strategy so that you can bounce back from the rejection. So what are the common reasons for rejection? It could be administrative errors sometimes. Then it could be misalignment with the program of aim of the funding agency. Many times funding agency says, no, this is not one of our aims, so it's not aligned with our aims. Or there could be inadequate resources or team. The reviewers think that, okay, this team or these resources, they can't do it. And issues could be with the intellectual merit also. As I said that you could not be the right person in the eyes of the reviewers to carry out that particular project. And proposal design may be unfocused and lacks details. If we don't try to take into consideration the points which I just explained now, there could be budget concerns also. You may have asked for too much. Say their limit is 50 lakh, You might have asked for 2 crores. So they say no, even if we reduce, then the merit of the work will be gone. And there could be a problem with presentation also, as I said, if the things are not presented in the proposal or in person nicely, then this could be one of the reason for rejection. So what to do in case the project is rejected? So first of all, read the comments from the reviewers. Put these away for a few days. Read the comments, keep it side, then again start reading, then highlight every positive comment. Okay, because this is very beauty of international agencies. They appreciate your positive points. Okay, this is very good, but here you lack this, you can improve over here. So highlight positive comments, that gives you a strength. And then seek constructive feedback from experienced colleagues. Again, here many of us, we feel shy. Why should I go to my senior colleague to show him that my project was rejected, so that will be not good on my part? So no, it's nothing. This is usual. Everybody, I should say, even if you have a vice chancellor in the university or director general of any organization, he or she might not have submitted any type of proposal during his or her lifetime, or they might have submitted and they might have got. They are not the gods. They are just like you. They have gone from this stage. They have experienced this stage, and this stage is, yes, full of as I said, rejection is not bad, or rather rejection makes us to learn the things. If our paper is not rejected, how we will write a good paper again? This is very important. So it is always better that your paper is not accepted at the first instance. You should strive for the reviewers' comments. That increases your knowledge. That gives you an experience of writing the paper. So seek constructive feedback from the experienced colleagues. Talk to your research boss also. Better go to him. Say, I had submitted this. I got these comments. Some of the comments could be positive. Some could be negative. Then create a document grouping reviewer comments by theme. That, okay, these are the reviewer comments. I will improve my proposal. Then answer line by line, point wise, all the comments. And then decide on a strategy, whether you will resubmit to the same agency or somewhere else. You have to decide it. And in case of resubmission, answer the reviewer's comments point-wise. Otherwise, if you are going to submit it some other agency, then don't there is no need to answer the comments of the reviewers. The only thing is that you should incorporate the good points of the reviewers in your proposal and improve it for submitting to some other agency. Here I will have, of course, it's not for the people who are to advise to prepare the proposal, but it is a word of caution for funding agencies and reviewers, particularly inland in our country. It should not pinch anybody, but because I'm blunt in doing so, so our funding agencies, they should be transparent, unbiased while reviewing the submitted proposal. Somewhere there is scope to be more transparent, more unbiased. So I should not go beyond this. And second thing is, if you are rejecting a proposal, please convey the detailed reviewer comments to PI. It's not that many times PI, he remains waiting, result has not come. I have not got the yes or no to my funding proposal. So then he forgets it and he thinks, okay, it's rejected. Even if it's rejected, you send it to the PI, say, yes, thank you very much for submitting your proposal. It was not funded. And these are the reasons why your proposal was not funded. So we encourage you to submit more proposals in future. This is what the funding agencies do. And this is what many funding agencies in our country are not doing it. Sorry to say that. So rejection of a proposal should also be based on clear-cut comments from the why this proposal is rejected, because these are the reasons. So if possible, suggestions for future improvements, because reviewers, they should also act as mentors. If they have reviewed a proposal, somehow they didn't consider it that it's not worth to be granted, at least they can give some suggestions out of their experience for improving So that will be sort of mentoring for you, because younger generation, even if the project is rejected, it is our duty, it is the duty of the funding agency, it is duty of the reviewers that the PI, proposed PI, should not get disgraced in submitting the proposal funding, because this is a scientist's job to submit and resubmit all the funding grants and all that. So talent and reputation of PAs, many times I should say, in India, what we do is that we give the grant just like a prasad is given in the temples or gurdwaras. Okay, everybody gets something, 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 something. It should not be like that. If some grant is there, वो उसको भी देनी है, उसको भी देनी है, PAU को भी देना है, उसको भी देना है, उसको भी देना है. No, let there be clear-cut criteria that only talent and reputation of PI and the institute. If PI is talented, no doubt if a particular institute or a particular reviewer gets 5 projects or gets a project every time, yes, he is capable, the institute is good, institute works hard, so why not the proposal should go to them? It's not like that, okay, usko nahi diya, usko bhi dena chahiye. It should not be like that. These are my thoughts, and I'm sorry if it pinches somebody. Then an informal advice, I think it should be last slide. Informal advice to the potential PIs. You are as good as anybody else. I can see that here we have 88 participants listening to me. So this is advice to everybody. You are as good as anybody else to succeed for a research grant. Never underestimate yourself that no, I cannot write a proposal for international grant. I cannot write a proposal for a national grant. The only thing is ideas should come to your mind. You are a scientist, and the duty of a scientist is to think and get the ideas and implement those ideas in the form of research. So the only thing is why you are as good as anybody else, provided you are clear about your ideas, you are sincere at writing the proposal, you are not writing a proposal just at the tea time, and you are ready to present your proposal nicely, and you are ready to accept the rejection and bounce back. Whenever you write the proposal, keep in mind that it will be rejected and I will succeed next time. If you are ready for that, definitely you will get the proposal. And provided you are determined to execute the project, sacrificing your personal obligations. It's not like that your wife or your husband is waiting at 5 p.m. for tea to have tea with you, and you say, no, I have to reach my home at 5, otherwise my wife or my husband will get angry with me. It should not be like that. You are a scientist, and scientist doesn't have a 9 to 5 time schedule. He has to sacrifice his personal time. And if you are determined to sacrifice your time, then you are as good as anybody else. So this is all what I wanted to say. Thank you very much. I'll be very happy if you have some questions or queries or something I can say. Most welcome. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Haritha.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Raj Setia, would you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to have Q&A?
Yeah. Anyone would like to interact with sir?
Yes, sir. I have some question.
Yeah, sir. Sure. Sure.
Sir, good afternoon to one and all present here. My name is Humendra Kumar Sahu. Currently, I am a research scholar in GB Pant University. सर, क्या हम लोग PMRF का स्कॉलरशिप ले सकते हैं अगर चाहेंगे, क्योंकि वो हमेशा IIT NIT के लिए रहता है. अगर हम लोग चाहें कि कोई अच्छा सा प्रपोजल लेके अगर वहाँ से फंड ले सके तो पॉसिबल है क्या?
Yeah, why not?
सर ले सकते हैं उसमें, क्योंकि
बिल्कुल ले सकते हैं. हाँ.
जी सर.
हम्म.
सर मैं एक और पूछना चाहूँगा कि जैसे मैं एक मशीन के ऊपर काम करना चाह रहा हूँ कि मैं उसको डिज़ाइन एंड डेवलपमेंट करना चाह रहा हूँ.
Okay.
अभी वो ऑल इंडिया में अभी तो नहीं है मशीन, और ये मतलब फॉरेस्ट प्रोड्यूस के ऊपर है, तो मैं उसका कैसे मतलब करूँ सर? एक थोड़ा-सा एक ब्रीफ आइडिया बता दीजिए कि मतलब
You want to design a new machine, or you want to work on a machine which is already designed?
नहीं सर, नया डिज़ाइन करना है और उसका बनाना है उसको.
Okay. So, may I know your field of expertise?
सर मैं वैसे प्रोसेसिंग एंड फूड इंजीनियरिंग से हूँ।
Acha, PFE से. Okay, okay,
जी सर।
okay. So you want to design a machine for processing purposes?
यस सर।
So it's always better to write a proposal. So two things. One is that you can translate your idea, as I said, on a one-page note, submit it to the. You will have to see that what could be the best funding agency where which promotes such ideas of designing the new machines and ultimately patenting it. Second thing is that there are calls from DBT, DST on particular aspects. So you have to be in line with those that the calls or the programs of Government of India which provide funding for such type of work, you should, but at the same time, you should be ready. Don't wait for a call, be ready, prepare your proposal, and whenever call comes,